Monster Inc. Slowly a very blue monster strolled into work with his best friend Mike and accent Mike. It was Solly's job to pop out of closet doors and scare kids in the human world. He was the top scarer at Monster Inc.
你念书要把口水吞下去。
Other monsters.
Yeah, pointing.
Other monsters worked at scaring kids too, including a nasty monster named Randon. Before work started, he even scared poor Mike just for fun. Ah! After Mike shouted, Randon was jealous at Sully because Randon wanted to be the top scarer at Monster Inc. The monsters started to work at the scare floor. First, I sent in set up closet door. Next, Scammer went through the doors in humans' world and frightened kids. Finally, the assistant collect the screams. The screams were turned into energy to power the city of Montrop. Look. Ooh. 他没牙齿。他放牙齿在那边。而他是刷牙。为什么？ It was the changer's job. Later, then one of the scare returned with a chilled sock on his back. Everyone panicked. The chilled just got energy. The CDA right to destroy the other sock. After all, every monster knew that children and their belongings and airplane chocolates. 那你知道这些是什么吗？
什么
？Monster。他们在工作。他们是医生叫他们去的。医生放这个，然后放他们过来，让他们过来这边，然后把这个拿下来。
这个是什么
？Lip sock. After work that day, Mike planned to have dinner with his girlfriend, but the office's manager, Roses, wouldn't let Mike leave because he hadn't finished his paperwork. So after to do the paperwork for his friend, Sully was surprised to find the door still open on the empty scare floor. He was even more surprised when a little girl grabbed his tail. "Kitty!" she cried. Getting chilled into mushrooms was the worst thing a monster could do. No one could find out. 他说：“猫。” Sully stuffed the little girl into a big bag and went to find Mike at the restaurant. When Mike saw Sully, he knew something was wrong, but he didn't realize how wrong until the little girl got out of the bag and started running around the restaurant. 你看。他头发是蛇。
头发是怎么一个眼睛的？
这边就一个眼睛，这边有很多蛇。就是他头发。
好恐怖。
The monsters were terrific. Sully and Mike scooped the girl into a box and raced home just as the CDA arrived on the scene. Stella, who was dragged away by the CDA, didn't know what was happening. The little girl wasn't scared at all. She even laughed at Mike. And when she did, the entire building lifted up with a surge of power. What was that? Sully asked, confused by the power surge. I have no idea, but it would be really great if she didn't do it again, Mike answered. Do you know that? Is that funny? He made Randall, not this blue monster. Look, it's only Randall. 可笑吗？
可笑。
Sully tried to get the child to go sleep in his room, but she pointed to the closet. Fearfully, she had drawn a picture of what scared her. It was Randall. He was her master. Sully showed her the empty closet. See, no monsters here, she promised, and added, I'm not going to scare you. I'm off dusty. Feeling better, the girl quickly fell asleep. As Sully watched her, and he began to think she wasn't dangerous after all. Randall, do you see? Randall. Was him. He pointed to that closet door. He didn't point it at him. He said, no monster here. And there was no monster. It was Randall. Randall was scared her. Look. This is Randall. Sully and Mike decided they would send the little girl back through her closet door. The next morning, they disguised her as a baby monster and brought her back to Monster Inc. They even fooled their boss, Mr. Waternoose, and the CDA agents who were looking for a child. Then they overheard Randall talking about the kid. He was the one who had let the child into Monster Inc. Randall was up to no good. When the coast was clear, Sully and Mike raced to the scare floor. Mike brought down a door. This isn't Boo's door, Sully said. Boo, what's Boo? Asked Mike. Who was I decided to call her? Sully exclaimed. The two began to argue. Then and the other monster noticed. Mike quickly improved a little song. Then bracing a sense for an upcoming pen and play, he flipped. Randall realized Mike was making up a story. He told Mike to go to the empty floor at lunchtime. He promised that the girl door would be there, and Mike would send the child back. It was a trick. Randall was the door first, and the
这一句话你都没念。
caught Mike instead,
这一句
going
话
to capture Boo. But Mike went to the door first, and Randall caught Mike instead.
用手指指着。
Randall took Mike to a secret lab where he had been invited. A terrible machine in attack screamed from children napped from the humans' world. Sully and Boo rescue Mike. The monster quickly found their boss, Mr. Waternoose. The two friends told Mr. Waternoose about Randall's plan to kidnap children. Then they learned Waternoose had been working with Randall all along. Waternoose grabbed Boo and pushed Mike and Sully through a closet door into the human world. Sully was determined to save Boo. Luckily, he found a chill bedroom and made his way back to Monster Inc. and Randall's secret lab. Sully matched Randall's terrible machine and saved Boo. Kitty, the little girl shouted happily. Ah! Ah!
吓到他们了，是不是？
Mike had made it back together. The friends raced to send Boo back home. This time, nothing was going to stop them. Mike's girlfriend, Claire, who was very unhappy about the way her date with Mike had ended.
看这个蛇尾巴，这手把它的爪子抓住了，
他脚。
它脚。
So Mike took Boo to the door vault where rows and rows of children's doors were stored to power the doors and made them work. Mike made Boo laugh. They had to find Boo's door fast. Randall was right behind them. The monster began to in and out of doors to escape from Randall. Working together, they trapped Randall into the door. Randall wouldn't be returning or scaring kids anytime soon. Now the CGA was after Boo. After a while, Mike described the agent. Sully ran off with Boo, but Mr. Waternoose saw them. "Give me the chew," he ordered. Mr. Waternoose told them that there was an energy shortage and that Monster Inc. wasn't making enough power. Napping children was only the way to save the company. But Sully knew it was wrong. And so did Roses. He also heard Waternoose confessing. It turns out that Rose was the head of the CDA. Her agent arrived. Waternoose. Finally, Sully got Boo's safety back home. "Goodbye, Boo," he said gently. Then he returned. Rose had Boo door. Turning into tiny pieces to keep the little girl safe. But that meant Sally would never see Boo again. Sally had learned something important. Laughter was more powerful than screams. She took over Companion's swallowed the power sword by turning the clear floor into a laugh floor. Laugh floor. Monster Inc. made more energy than ever. 你看，这些吧。The Sally missed Boo. All she left was a little sliver on her door. But then one day Mike surprised his best friend. He had glued Boo's door back together so it fits in the last piece, and once again went through her closet door. Instead of a scream, Song heard a little voice she would have been missing cried out, "Kitty!" Thanks for watching. Bye. Give one thumb up if you like Monster Inc. Goodbye.